back to my channel. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful day. So a lot of you guys requested another vegan pros and cons kind of video. My last vegan video, I did kind of my journey, my updates. Since I made that video, you guys want to see more, especially more of what to expect and maybe some of the negatives of going vegan, because a lot of times when people sit down and make these videos, it's like all they have is like pros and the positive. The only negative I have is I wish I went vegan sooner. No matter what I say in today's video, I do believe, like my personal opinion, that the pros completely outweigh any of the negatives. However, there are some, of course, like it's a completely lifestyle change. There are some negatives that I want to talk about in today's video. When I was going vegan, I was researching videos, researching blogs and stuff. I think one of the things that was most inspiring to me is hearing struggles people had, and that's what I want to mention in today's video. You know, just hearing the positives and that it's the best decision they ever made and they never felt better and all that, like that's all great, and I think that that keeps you motivated and excited. But I think also hearing where somebody else came from, that somebody, you know, who was used to eating meat their entire life and, you know, their friends still eat meat and their family and all that, hearing how they're overcoming that, I think is more inspiring than just like, you'll never feel better. Okay, so starting with a pro. So the first pro to being vegan is overall just feeling more positive every single day. I've never felt more compassion and more like I was doing the right thing in my life until I went vegan. And you guys know I love to live a positive life and a happy life and just be kind to others. And I never knew that there could be a diet that completely aligned with how I mentally think. I have this strong why of being vegan that everything else just aligns. And I do feel that it makes you more positive, and it just makes you more aware of what's going on in the world and that we are all connected. And I think that when I wasn't vegan, I of course was still positive, but it's completely different. It's a completely different level of positivity and spirituality. And I think that you just start to realize that we're all one and connected in this world. We all feel pain. We all feel happy. We all want to feel loved. And that's one of the most important things. And I think that when I went vegan, I actually truly understood. My first con, and sort of a bone I have to pick. Okay, so I guess the first con is that the vegan community can be a little harsh. I know, I said it. I think that you're dealing with a group of people that are just so passionate about something that it could kind of come off as harsh. It could kind of come off as rude. And I actually read a blog post about it when I first went vegan, because it was something that I didn't know how to deal with. You know, when you finally make the choice to go vegan, and so you think you're gonna be welcomed like open arms, like, oh, you're vegan, yay, come here, let me give you a hug. Where I didn't really feel that overwhelmed love. Like, for example, when a friend tells me that they're going vegan, I just want to hug them and be like, I'm here for you, anything you need, like whatever, I want to talk about it, you know, help you through this, whatever. But I didn't really feel that back, I guess you could say. And especially being on YouTube and the internet vegan community is mainly who I'm talking about. Yeah, so I read a blog about it, and if I can find that same blog, because it really hit the nail on the head, but I will leave that blog in my description box. What she was saying was that the vegan community can tend to get competitive. So who could be more vegan? And yeah, you're saying you're vegan, but I'm more vegan because I do this and you still do that. So I think that there's still a lot of judgment in the vegan community, and sometimes they think that that could be really discouraging to people. Now, this is by no means a reason to not go vegan because of other people, of course not. But this video is all about, you know, the pros and the cons, so I did want to kind of be upfront and say that, you know, sometimes it does stink. Okay, so my next pro is feeling clear and clean. So what I mean by that, so when I used to eat a lot of dairy, so maybe I had a cheese platter, or I went and had ice cream, and then milk or products with milk. I never actually bought like whole milk, regular milk, or anything like that. I was kind of always drinking almond milk, but I would buy products with milk in them, you know what I mean? Or half and half or something like that. I would feel so gross the next day, phlegm, and I know that's like so gross to say, but I'm just being honest in today's video. But yeah, I just felt like dairy just really didn't sit with me. And you know, growing up half Italian, half Turkish, we eat a lot of cheese platters. So I was eating a lot of cheese platters throughout my whole life. And it wasn't up until this year, or the end of 2017, I should say, that when I was eating cheese platters, I would get physically sick. Like I would eat the cheese platter and then run to the bathroom and throw up. The first time that this happened, I just thought that was a bad batch of cheese, or maybe I'm not feeling well, whatever. Second time, started feeling extremely nauseous. That time I didn't throw up, but I was just feeling like extremely nauseous. Third time having a cheese platter, because I didn't learn my lesson the first 2 times. Third time having a cheese platter. Sick again. And now the last time that I was really sick, it was really clear to me what was happening. I was feeling a ton of acid in my stomach and kind of like a heartburn feel. Eating a ton of cheese and dairy is very acidic to the body. It was kind of in that time that I was kind of thinking like, why am I putting this in my body? This is literally making me physically ill. And then when I'm not eating cheese platters and feeling physically ill, then I'm eating ice cream and getting phlegm the next day, or sour cream used to give me like a lot of phlegm. And I was just like, you know what, this is enough. Like, why am I doing this? You know, I would get headaches throughout the day. So I think one of the biggest pros I could say is that you feel clear and clean. You know, your skin clears up. My next con is when you're going out to eat, the vegan menu is like this big. Like, get out your magnifying glass and be like, vegan options, I don't see them. I think the restaurant business, the food service business, I think they have a long way to go to making vegan options, just creating a whole vegan menu, or just more vegan options and better options. You know what I mean? Like a garden salad. You know, the last few restaurants that we went to, we tried to order veggie burgers and they're like, oh no, we have cheese in the batter. So I think that, you know, restaurants need to kind of recognize that so many more people are going vegan nowadays, and that so many more people are going dairy free nowadays too, you know, not even just vegan. It would make our life so much easier, and that way we can go out to eat with our friends and not have to be like super picky about which restaurant we're going to, because sometimes that could be annoying too. Like I have to be like, you know, I have to always check the menu before I go. Before I would just, oh, you want to try this new restaurant? Yeah, sure. And you could be kind of spontaneous. Now we have to actually see the menu before we walk in, and I don't really like being picky, guys. Like, I used to, you know, be that friend that when you would ask me to dinner, it's, you know, do you want to go here? Sure, I'm not picky. But now it's kind of like, I have to see the menu first, and, you know. Okay, so my next pro is grocery shopping and cooking. These things completely changed for us when we went vegan. So me and my boyfriend did go vegan together, so it does make things easier, but our shopping experience and cooking experience has completely changed for the better. So the first thing is the shopping. Your groceries are significantly cheaper when you go plant-based. And I know that a lot of people, including myself, I didn't think that that was the thing. You know, I thought that it would be more expensive, like vegan diet sounds super expensive, but really like a lot of the things that are really expensive or were expensive in our groceries was, you know, chicken. You know, we would buy organic chicken or non-hormone chicken. You know, eggs, we would try to buy, you know, cage-free eggs, or brown eggs or duck eggs or whatever the case may be. All of those things are actually really expensive. You know, buying fruits and vegetables and grains and all of that are a lot cheaper, and especially stores like Trader Joe's makes it so much easier to find organic, you know, just so that you don't have like any extra chemicals in your diet if you do eat organic, but they, you know, have organic food for a better price. Then the next thing is the cooking. So before, when we would cook, it would be like, okay, these cutting boards are for meat and stuff, that way like you don't cross-contaminate and get sick, and then these ones are for veggies. When you go vegan, none of these things are an issue anymore because there's no salmonella. Oh, I was touching raw meat, now I have to wash my hands. Like, none of that is a thing anymore, which is so nice. The next pro actually has to do with the last thing that I just said, you know, you're not gonna get sick. This is something that Jared brought to my attention. I totally didn't think of this, and I definitely want to mention it in today's video. You know, he kind of explained this whole thing to me when kind of his realization for going vegan, and he was basically saying that when we have meat, there was cruelty involved, right? We had to kill the animals to have meat. They don't want to be killed. They know what's happening. They know what's going on, and they're fighting for their lives the entire time. Basically, that when we consume meat, if we eat it the wrong way, we get sick. We don't wash our hands, we get sick. And it's kind of like the animal is fighting for his or her life the entire time. He said it just made so much sense, and I totally understood what he was saying. You have to think, do you want to put something in your body that's literally not meant to be there, literally is fighting to not be in your body? That, like, we know what could happen if we eat raw meat, right? Like, we could throw up, get diarrhea, get really sick, have to go to the hospital. This might be a sign that we shouldn't be eating this. The next con that I want to talk about is something that I do worry about sometimes, and it's the protein thing. I know that there's so many vegans that will tell you don't worry about that, and even I'll tell myself, you know, I don't need to worry about that, but it is sometimes something that I'm thinking about all the time when I'm going grocery shopping or I'm going cooking, and I'm just trying to get more creative of different ways I can get protein without it always being processed. You know what I mean? Like, you guys know I am comfortable eating tofu. I know that not everybody is comfortable consuming soy products. I am. However, I don't want to consume them. I don't think that that should be my only source of protein is what I'm saying. I have my protein powders, but it is something that I am thinking about a lot. It just requires more effort on my end to just research different things or measure things out, you know, like quinoa. I'm not used to like getting my protein from, you know, a grain or a carb or something like that. So you do still get all the protein that you need, and we actually don't need as much as we think that we do. But with that being said, it does require some more work on my end. So you can go vegan and be totally unhealthy. Vegan doesn't just translate to you're healthier, because you could eat bean chips all day, hummus all day, which is absolutely delicious, but you know what I mean. You do have to be more aware of what you're eating. The next pro is kind of a rebuttal to that, in that because it's requiring more work on my end, I actually have become a lot healthier, and now I'm not deficient on anything, which is crazy because here I go on a more restrictive diet, or it's more restrictive to me at first, and now I'm completely not deficient on anything. And I do think because it's requiring me to put in the research and put in the time and to make sure I'm going grocery shopping every week. Before, you know, we would still do our meal preps and all that on Sunday, but there would be times that we would slack and just eat like a frozen dinner or something. Now being vegan, that's not quite always an option. Like it is, of course, like there's frozen vegan dinners, but you can feel weak very fast. And that's what I've noticed on a vegan diet, that if I just eating a lot of bean chips and hummus, for example, or like vegan fast food or vegan unhealthy food, that I'll start to feel very weak, that my body is like, okay, I need some leafy greens, I need some fruit, I need some protein. So my next con is definitely something that I do find myself getting tempted more often than anything else, and that's with baked goods like cookies or brownies. Recently there was a bake sale going on, and I love supporting all the school bake sales. I'm more so for selfish reasons. I love like a good homemade cupcake, like made by like a mom, you know what I mean, like a mom cupcake. I saw the girls and boys out and I just wanted to get one so bad. And then I remember like, oh, it's made with eggs, it's made with milk and all of that. And I do think that sometimes the baked goods doesn't always resonate with me, that that's animal product too. That it's easy for me to look at chicken wings now and look at, you know, even milk and cheese and all that and be like, ew, that is a animal's body part. Like that is disgusting. But sometimes with cupcakes and cookies and all of that, I do find myself, I could be tempted more. Literally guys, there are so many vegan cookies and brownies that I have had that taste the exact same. So that's not really the issue here. It's not that I'm missing that forever and I've never gotten that taste again. No, the issue is that it's not always available. It's not like, oh, this cupcake has eggs in it, but then this one doesn't, so this one's for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always presented. You see cupcakes, they all have eggs in it, you're not going home with a cupcake. So I guess that's kind of my issue, that sometimes I don't see that that is also participating in the animal cruelty, and that that does have animal parts in it, and I'm just not seeing it that way. So I think that that's sometimes where I fall into the most temptation, and that's the time that I'm just like, forget it, I'm just gonna have one. And the reason why I don't, and I guess I want to talk about this next, is that you do have to have boundaries when you're going plant-based, vegan, and all of that. And you have to say to yourself, if I give in to this cupcake or this brownie, then what's to say I'm not gonna have a piece of, you know, or a chicken salad tomorrow. Last pro I want to leave you guys with is every person that goes vegan saves 100 animals a year. When I heard that, it doesn't sound like a lot when you say it out loud, right? Like 100, like, nah, 100. But actually picture a room with 100 animals. Like, I just want you to close your eyes and just picture that. A room with 100 animals. That changes things. And just knowing that you're making that difference. So there's animals being saved every single day just because of the choices that you're making on your diet. If it were me, like if I was one of those pigs or cows or chickens, I would want somebody to be doing that for me. And I feel like since we are all connected, that that's the least I can do. It's so emotional to talk about, and I feel like that's why a lot of people don't like to talk about like the pros and cons, because it can get really emotional, especially when you see that the cons aren't really so bad. You know what I mean? It's kind of, for me, a no-brainer decision. But you know, a lot of my family still eats meat, and a lot of my friends still eat meat. And I had someone on my YouTube channel, we were talking about fit girl habits, she ate meat. To know at the end of the day, I'm making this video for those of you that asked, but this at the end of the day is a judgment-free zone. And I know that this diet isn't for everybody. We all have to have the freedom to make our own choices and to live our best life how we genuinely think we should. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Have a wonderful day and a great weekend, and I'll see you guys soon.